So, on Friday, 6:30 p.m., and I know what you're thinking. What playoff-eligible team plays on Friday at 6:30? And I'm going to give you 5 seconds just to randomly guess on that one. Did you get it? It's Purdue. Purdue at Minnesota. I know a lot of people do not consider Purdue a playoff-eligible team because, they're outside of the top 25. Most teams that are outside of the top 25 this late in the season are not actually playoff-eligible. Just teams like Penn State, Iowa, teams like that are outside the top 25. Especially this late in the season, most teams aren't playoff eligible, which is why it's so weird. Early on in the season, since I'm going to start doing this next season, we're going to have so many games I'm predicting. Literally, I'd say about, it's going to be a lot a week. I'd say over 30 games a week at the beginning of the season. But then as the season goes along, it's about, especially at the end of the season, it's about 5 or 6 games that you're predicting, except for the championship games in which you're predicting 10, obviously. But it's late in the season since the Big Ten and the Pac-12 started so late, we're ending up with unranked teams that are in fact still playoff eligible, so I still have to predict their games. So Purdue at Minnesota. And let's talk about each of these teams individually. They both lost last weekend. But in my opinion, they both showed different directions, at least for this season. I still think Minnesota's a playoff-eligible team next season. P.J. Fleck's a very good head coach. But just like Penn State and James Franklin, this season just kind of got away from them. It's an odd season. It's a fluke season. They'll be back next year in the playoff conversation. But Minnesota got crushed by Iowa. And let's be honest, Iowa's always been a pretty good football team, but they started out 0-2. They've really turned it around. But Minnesota's just not looked good since the beginning of the year with only one win on their resume, and that's to Illinois, a team that's looking like it's going to be the only Big Ten team to fire their head coach in Lovie Smith. And just, it's not a good loss. They definitely looked better, but again, that was against Illinois, so who actually knows if they're a better football team. Purdue, on the other hand, did lose this weekend to Northwestern, but I think it shows extreme growth as a program because Rondale Moore did not play in that game. Rondale Moore has yet to make his 2020 premiere, but it shows the growth of a program that it's been able to survive losing a playmaker like Rondale Moore, because over the past few years, Rondale Moore has been that football team. We saw it last year when Rondale Moore went down. They did not look like a good football team at all. They weren't competitive against a team like Wisconsin. They were just really not a good football team throughout the year. But this year, they've definitely improved. And I think I don't know, they have not confirmed nor denied whether Rondale Moore will be playing in this game. I'm going to go under the assumption that this will be his 2020 premiere. Purdue's only somehow favored by 2.5 points, considering how atrocious Minnesota's looked this year and how really solid Purdue's looked this year under Jeff Brom. Give me Purdue to crush Minnesota and cover the spread.